The sound of a 90-pound Great Pyrenees knocking a toddler to the floor is unmistakable. Amanda heard it from the kitchen, that heavy, dull thud that makes every parent's blood stop. She dropped the dish towel and ran. Bear had Emma pinned. The toddler was flat on the carpet, face up, the dog's massive head lowered directly over the child's face. Emma was crying, not screaming, just that confused, frightened cry that meant something hurt, but nothing was broken yet. Bear. No. Amanda grabbed the dog's collar and pulled hard. Bear resisted. For the first time since they'd brought him home 3 years ago. He didn't obey immediately. His body was rigid. His eyes stayed locked on Emma. She pulled harder. The dog finally stepped back, but slowly, reluctantly. Emma sat up, tears streaming, reaching for Amanda. No visible injuries, no blood, just scared. But that sound, that thud, that had been real. She scooped Emma up and carried the toddler to the couch, heart still racing. Bear stood exactly where she'd pulled him, staring at them both. His tail wasn't wagging. His ears were forward, alert. Not guilty, not ashamed. Just watching. When Tom got home that evening, Amanda was still shaken. She explained what happened, the sound, the way Bear had Emma on the floor, the way he wouldn't move when she called him. Tom knelt down and checked Emma carefully. No bruises, no bumps. The toddler was already playing again, completely fine. But Amanda wasn't fine. He's never done anything like that, Tom said. I know. That's what scares me. The dog sat in the corner of the living room, eyes moving between Tom and Emma. Calm, steady. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe Emma startled him. Amanda shook her head. It didn't feel like an accident. It felt deliberate. That night, they kept Bear in the laundry room while Emma slept. It felt wrong. He'd never been locked away before. But Amanda couldn't shake the image of that moment. The weight of the dog on top of their child. The next morning, it happened again. Amanda was changing Emma's diaper when Bear came into the nursery. He walked directly to the changing table and pressed his nose against Emma's face. Not sniffing, pressing. Bear, back. He didn't move. She said it louder. Bear, back. Now. Still, nothing. She physically pushed him away. He took 2 steps back, then immediately moved forward again. Nose going straight to Emma's mouth. Amanda's patience snapped. Out, now. Bear finally left, but only after she raised her voice to a level that made Emma start crying. That afternoon, Amanda called the vet. The vet listened carefully, asked questions. How old was Bear? Had there been any other behavior changes? Any aggression toward other people? No. Just Emma. The vet was quiet for a moment, then said, It might be stress. Sometimes dogs react unpredictably when there's a baby in the house, especially if they were used to being the center of attention. Amanda thanked her and hung up. By that evening, she'd made the decision. Bear couldn't stay. Tom didn't want to believe it. He'd raised Bear from a puppy, trained him, trusted him. But he'd also seen the fear in Amanda's face. He'd heard the description of that moment. The dog on top of their child, refusing to move. They agreed to call a rescue organization in the morning. That night, Bear slept in the garage. Amanda lay in bed staring at the ceiling. She felt guilty. She felt like she was betraying a family member. But every time she closed her eyes, she saw Bear's head hovering over Emma's face, and her chest tightened. At 2:47 a.m., the baby monitor lit up. Emma was crying, not the usual fussy cry. Something else, a strange, weak sound. Amanda sat up immediately and grabbed her phone. The video feed showed Emma in the crib, barely moving. She ran. Tom was right behind her. When they opened the nursery door, Bear was already inside. He'd somehow gotten out of the garage, somehow made it through the house, somehow opened the nursery door. Or it hadn't latched. He was standing on his back legs, front paws on the crib rail, nose pressed against Emma's face. Bear. Get back. Tom grabbed the dog and pulled him away. Amanda reached into the crib and lifted Emma. The toddler's skin was pale, cold. The crying had stopped. Something's wrong. The paramedics arrived in 6 minutes. One of them took Emma from Amanda's arms, checked vitals, asked rapid-fire questions. When did this start? Any fever? Any vomiting? Any known allergies? The second paramedic noticed Bear. He was standing in the hallway, completely still, eyes fixed on Emma. Has the dog been acting strange? Amanda nodded, barely able to speak. Yes, for 2 days. The paramedic looked at Emma again, looked at Bear, then looked at Amanda. We need to get to the hospital. Now. At the ER, a doctor examined Emma thoroughly. Blood tests, monitoring, questions. Then she came back into the room with a printout and a very serious expression. Your e-daughter's glucose level had crashed to 42. Amanda's breath stopped. The doctor continued, her voice calm but firm. Another 15 minutes and we would be having a very different conversation. What made you bring Aher in tonight? Amanda explained the crying, the monitor, the pale skin. The doctor nodded slowly. And the dog? Amanda looked at Tom. He looked back at her. He wouldn't leave Emma alone, Amanda said quietly. For 2 days? We thought he was being aggressive. And dogs can detect blood sugar drop before we can. It's documented. The change in scent, in breath chemistry, they pick it up long before symptoms are visible to us. Amanda sat down. Bear knew. The doctor nodded. He was trying to tell you. When they brought Emma home 3 days later, Bear was waiting by the door. Amanda knelt down and put her arms around his neck. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry. Bear exhaled slowly, leaning into her. That night, Emma slept in the crib. Bear slept on the floor beside it. No one asked him to. He just did.